Hello everyone. Well, I'm back to Naval Action. It's been a while and it feels great to be back. The game has hit open seas last weekend and well, now it's open for everyone to try. So if you haven't this game and you want to check it out, well, go to Steam, check it out and join the fun because it's a really fun game. Now, to begin with this new series of videos about naval action, because I'm coming back to this game and I'm coming back quite seriously, we are going to start with a tutorial on, well, the port UI. A lot of people are new to the game and a lot of people are coming back to the game after playing the old sea trials and never got into the beta times of the OpenSea. So they don't really know how the UI works. So let's start with that and we will be doing more stuff in the future to explain how everything in this awesome game works. Now when you start the port, you start here is the home tab. You can see there are several tabs up here. Each one has a different purpose. We will be looking at all of them. And this button here, sail, sets you to sail on the open sea with the ship you have selected. Here is the information on when you are stationed. Right now I am in La Habana, which is of course the capital of the Spanish fleet. I'm Spanish. No kidding. Who was expecting that, right? And up here on the right side, you have the stats of your rank, the XP you need to the next rank, the current gold you have, how many crewmen you can have on your current ship, how many ships you can commandeer in a fleet of NPCs. Right now it's two, and the maximum size you can command in an NPC fleet, which right now for me is a cutter. Also comes the stats of the next rank, which in my case will mean that I will be able to command 120 crew in a ship that can have as much crew, of course. And well, the fleet commander stats really don't change for the next rank. So this is to keep track on your current rank and your next rank, how far you are into advancing to the next one, how much gold you have, etc, etc, etc. The main screen of the home tab, this is the home tab, this is the starting tab, has the ship selection, the outposts, the ship repair options, and the repair kit screen. It also has the stats of the current ship you are sailing. Right now I have a privateer. Here are all the stats of the privateer as I own it, with all the upgrades it has, damage if I have any would show here, etc. Ship selection is the ships you currently have. Right now in Havana I have a privateer and a yacht. I don't have any more ships, but if I had them, they would show up here. Even those that aren't in this port. For instance, if I had, I don't know, in San Juan, another ship, it will show it here, the name of the ship, and that is stationed in San Juan. I wouldn't be able to switch to that ship where I can between these two, because these two are here. If I have one in San Juan and in Havana, of course I can't jump into that one. But you can check where all your ships are stationed. The next tab is the outposts. An outpost is essentially a base of operation for you, right? It gives you access to a warehouse. We will see what is that in the equipment section in a second. Each of your outposts costs money. To open an outpost, you have to go to a place you don't have one, and you have to buy the permit for an outpost there. You can also abandon one. Why would you want to abandon an outpost? Well, outposts cost more the more of them you have. For instance, your first outpost comes at no cost. Well, you have one in your starting port, but you go elsewhere else, you open an outpost there, that one is going to cost you 0. But the next one will cost more. And the next one will cost more than the previous one, and etc. etc. The cost escalate. So if you find yourself that you are not using a given outpost, you can abandon it. Okay. Here you have the options for your current ship. You can sell it directly to the market. You can put it on sale, but only if they are non-premium. fully repaired, and full durability. For instance, I can't put this one on sale because I only have one durability. This is a captured zip. When you capture a zip, you only get one durability. If you purchase one, it comes with 5 durabilities. And you only can sell them by putting them on sale if you have the 5 durabilities. If you lose one, you will only be able to sell them directly here. Why would you want to put it on sale? Well, if there's another player who wants that particular ship, you can put on sale for less price than what it is on the market, but more than what you would get for selling for this price. So it's a good deal for everyone. Breakup, what it does is breaks the ship in components, so you can craft another ship with those components. We will see that later in crafting. Finally, the repair kits. Here you can see how much each repair kit costs, how many of them you can store in your ship, and how many of them you currently have. You can also repair the ship. You can also repair here if you have it damaged. For instance, this one has a little bit of damage. You can repair it here. It doesn't come here because this is fully repaired. But if you want to repair instead of with this action, because you think it's going to be cheaper, well, you can do so. And also you can buy repair kits. It comes with a slider. You choose how many of them you want. Here is how much it will cost you. And pretty much that's the Home tab. Let's move on to the Equipment tab. Now the Equipment tab comes in 2 sections, right? Left side, right side. The left side is the upgrade stats of your current ship. And on the right side, there's whatever you have in the current port and ship. Let's start with the right side. Up here, there are the hull and the upgrades. And this is the stuff that your ship is carrying. Currently, I have nothing in my hold. A hold that can take up to 50 tons. This is very important, by the way. And I'm carrying this set of upgrades, the reinforced masts, which I'm not using currently because I'm waiting to know if I'm going to use it or sell them, because this is pretty expensive. This I got from a captured ship. Down here, there's the warehouse. Now the warehouse, as I told you, comes with each of the outposts you have. And this is the thing, if you don't have an outpost, you don't have any warehouse. You can't store anything that you are not storing in your ship hold. Now, that means that if I was in a port where I have no warehouse, I wouldn't be able to unload this stuff. But here I can put them on here. I also could put the reinforced mask here. Whatever is in the hold or on the upgrades sections will go with you if you go to the OpenSea. Whatever is in the warehouse stays there, right? This is very important because if you capture something, maybe a set of guns you don't want to use now, but you want to hold for later use, you can store them in the warehouse and then you will be able to use them later on instead of just selling them, right? Warehouses are also used to store stuff for crafting. You will see that later. Now there's a little tab here called Spend Warehouse. This warehouse has this size. So it's a 4 by 10, I think, space. So 40 items. Once you are full, you can purchase 8 more warehouse slots for this price. And I guess then that the more stuff you want to put in, or maybe this is 8. Yeah, this is 8 for 4, so 32. Okay, so its row are 8. So with this, you add one more row. And I'm guessing that the more rows you add, the more they cost. But yeah, there's that. Now on the left side, here you have the stats of your ship. There are different rows here: permanent upgrades, officer upgrades, and weapons. Permanent upgrades are upgrades that you can put on your ship, but you can't take off unless you destroy them. Okay? So be very sure of what upgrades put in your ship. Because if you think, oh no, I'd rather put this other thing here, and you don't have more spaces to put them on, you will have to destroy whatever you have on to put that in place. In this particular ship, This privateer is captured, it doesn't have any upgrade slots, so I can't put anything on. But that depends a lot on the different ships you purchase. For instance, this yacht has two upgrades, permanent upgrade slots. I could put the reinforcement masts here, but if I put them there, then I couldn't take them off. I will have to destroy them to free the slot. Okay? Next is the officers tab. The officers do nothing right now because there are no officers in the game. It's something that is going to come in the future where you will have officers that will help your reload rate, your tunnel radius, whatever. But right now, there's no tab for that. There's no use for that. Upgrades. These are slots for upgrades that are not permanent. There are some of them which you can take on and off at will. For instance, in my privateer, I do have one of them, the grenade supplements. This I can take off freely and put in another ship or whatever and take them on again when I wish to do so. There are 4 spaces in this particular ship where I can put temporary or regular upgrades. Remember the permanent ones, you can't take them off. The temporary ones, you can. How do you know if something is temporary or not? Well, hover over it, reinforced mast, type permanent. If I try to put them on, it will be refused. However, the grenades, I can put them on without a problem. Right? Right. Another thing, the number of upgrade slots depends on your ship quality. This privateer again is captured, is fine, is not really great, has 4 normal upgrade slots but has no permanent upgrade slots. Better ships will have more slots for you to suit them for whatever you want to do with them. And finally the weapons. The weapons come in 4 spaces. The decks, or the sideways firing, the main batteries, front battery, back battery, and mortar. Mortar, forget about it. It's only for the mortar brig, and currently I don't think it's even in the game. But even then, this is mostly useless for anything but that ship, and that ship has no real use right now that I know of. So this one, forget about. Front and back, those are slots for the chasers. If you have space for guns in your ship, it will show here. Right now, I don't have any space for that in this ship, so whatever. The main batteries. These are a ship can have up to 4 decks. The weather deck, first deck, second deck, third deck. For instance, a Victory would have 4 slots here, but I'm in a privateer, and the privateer only has 1 deck. And then I can only put guns in that 1 deck, right? Here you will see lower deck. This is the weapons I can put in this particular ship, and 2 numbers and a slash and then 2 further numbers. Well, this is the class of the weapons you can mount. To the left is the class of the cannons you can mount. To the right is the class of the carronades you can mount. A carronade is not a gun, it's a different thing. A cannon is a very long thing. The cannon, everyone knows how a cannon looks like. A carronade is a short-muzzled, lighter version of a cannon, right? Which has very different properties. Usually they are very good for close-range combat, but they are pretty much useless at long ranges. But the advantage is that they come at much bigger sizes for what they cost and how big they are. We will see that in a second. So for instance, this privateer can have up to 8 or 9 class cannons. For instance, this medium cannon, which is a 6-pounder, is a cannon class 8. So I can mount them without a problem. What happens if I try to mount these 4-pounder cannons, which are a cannon class 10? Well, I can't, because I can mount 8 or 9, not 10. Okay? What happens if I try to put a class 7 carronade? Well, first we are going to go to the shop, purchase one. Don't worry, we will visit this later on. So now I have a carronade here, carronade 18-pounder. Well, I can mount them. Why? Because it's a carronade class 7. And as you can see, carronades I can mount 7 or class 8. As you can see, this is an 18 pounder, while my cannons are 6 pounders. This thing hits like a brick, but the problem is that you need to be very close into the enemy to make them work. In short, cannons are good for a very particular set of things. And I don't particularly like them. But well, there are people who swear by them, so whatever. We will look at this in other videos. But by now you can see this is very important to see what kind of cannons you can mount on your ships. Because a lot of time people go like, hey, I can't mount these cannons in this ship. Why is that? Well, that's because the class of the cannons is not within the bracket that you can use in that particular ship. Okay? Perfect. So this is the equipment tab. Next, missions. Comes in two sides again, left side, right side. Now, in the right side, there are the orders you can take on. Now, taking orders is a very easy way to start up because it gives you a bit of XP and a bit of gold on top of the rewards you get from a given battle. So for instance, right now I have a search and destroy mission near La Habana. Rewards 2000 gold, rewards 50 XP. So I go there, I kill the ship, I get my XP and gold for destroying that ship, and then on top of that, I receive this bonus. You can pick up to 3 orders at a time, but only one in a given port. Right now I'm in La Habana, I took this mission. If I try to get another one, ooh, well, I can take this one. Oh, well, because this is near Mariel. Sometimes you receive orders in other places. The thing is, the orders you can take can only be one in a given place. So for instance, if there's another mission near La Habana, I want to try this once again, can take this order, you have another one in this area. So it's up to one order per area. Okay? But seems that you can have several by port. That's something I didn't know. Now, of course, near La Habana, near Mariel. Where the hell is that? Mariel, I don't know. Well, hit M, and voila, here's the map. Now, the map comes with all the ports around the Caribbean where you are going to be playing. As you can see, it's a huge, huge, huge area. And if you zoom in with the mouse wheel and then drag with left click and drag, you will see that we are at Havana. There's a circle here that says where we are. In port, when you are in OpenSea, you can access this map, but there will be no circle on your ship. You will have to know where you are on your own. There's no GPS here, okay? But right now we are in port. We know we are at La Habana, and okay, search and destroy near La Habana, search and destroy near Mariel. So I know where these two missions are. If I go out of port roughly to the north, I will find this one. If I go out roughly to the west, I will find this one. Very easy and intuitive. You can also zoom out and so much out that you can see the rest of the screen, but whatever. Okay, we go back in here. So this is sorted out. What's this about the large battle and small battles? Well, this is very, very, very similar to the old sea trials. If you don't want to go in the open sea looking for trouble or whatever, and you just want to have a fight, when you can wait until one of these events opens and have a fun just for fun. A fight just for fun. You will receive XP and gold, and if you lose your ship, it will count against your durabilities. So there's some risk involved. They are quite fun, and they actually are worth playing actually because they give you decent XP and money. So yeah, well, there's events at some random times, depends on the number of people in the server at a given time. So if you are in port and you want to have some fast fun in the shape of a big battle, when you can join one of these. Okay? Next, shop. Now the shop is where you purchase and sell things. If you have captured an enemy ship or you have sunk an enemy ship and you have captured some loot out of that battle, when you can take it on your hold and take it to a shop. When you're in shop, there are different tabs here. There's an all, and there you will have everything listed on by no particular order. And then you have different tabs to sort whatever you want. For instance, say that you captured some cannons, which I have some that I want to sell. You go to cannon slot, and you have all the cannons that are in this port on sale. And if I have some, which I do, I have carronades, I can click here, sell, again a slider, I only have one, so confirm that, and sold they are. And here is everything. Upgrades, again, you can sort them by class and whatever they do. Consumables, right now they are none in the game. I think the only consumable right now is the repair kit, and that's in the home tab, but will come later on. Materials, which are used for crafting, and resources, which are also used for crafting and trading. Now, remember, each port has its own supply of things. Uh, this one, for instance, has no gunnery upgrades. Other ports might have some. Okay, so it's a bit random. Each time you are into a port, take a look and choose whatever. Take a look and just see if there's something that interests you. Back to material and resources, especially resources. Resources is the base of two things in the game right now, which is crafting and trading. Trading you can do, easily so, by the way, with any ship, but of course trading ships are better for that because they have much bigger cargo holds. Now, how do you decide where to buy and where to sell? Because of course trading is based around buying at somewhere that things are available and selling where that same something is requested. Well, as you can see right here, this port produces per day all this stuff and consumes per day all this stuff. So you will have to assume that all this stuff is at very good prices and all this stuff will be sold by over the average prices. Now, of course, this is within the same port. I can't buy pine log here and sell it here because I'm going to lose money. If I buy pine log, where do I sell it? Well, again, go back to the map and check on ports you have been in. For instance, I have been in Matanzas. And I know that this produces pine log, redwood log, silver, stone block, and consumes all that other stuff. So all I have to find is a place that produces the stuff this port consumes, and I will have a trade route. Easy. Of course, the problem is that you only can check this kind of information on ports you've been at. Because if I go to Cuyo, for instance, I have never been there, not visited yet. I have no clue of what is produced here and what is requested here. So a lot of your trading will consist in visiting a lot of ports to know which thing is produced where and where is it demanded. Also, you can do the old trick of asking in chat, which also will help. But yeah, those are the bases of trading. And you can do a lot of money by trading, by the way. Really, really a lot. It won't make you any XP, but money will give you a lot. I have only done one run just to try it out. And with a very small cargo hold, only 50. And yeah, there's a potential there to make quite a lot of money by just sailing up and down the map. Well, so this is the shop. If you have something, you can sell it and you can buy it at your discretion. Next is Fleet tab. Remember where we were when we were looking at the rank stats. As you can see here, in my rank, I can get a couple of ships, and the maximum size is a cutter. So you can hire up to 5 ships, but you can take up to as many as your rank allows to the sea. And the sizes, again, depends on your rank. So for instance, if right now I wanted to go out to the sea having 2 NPCs sailing with me, I could purchase a couple of these. A cutter and a lynx, 2 cutters, 2 lynxes, for instance. And then on the open sea, I would be my ship and those 2 NPCs with me. What's the problem here? Well, first, they are NPCs, and you can only exercise very limited command on them while they are on battle. And second, that the ship performance will affect your own open world performance. So if you are in a very agile ship and you take a behemoth with you, then your OpenSea movement will be that of the behemoth, not of you. Okay? Other than that, I only tried this once a long time ago. I sail on my own, but I know there are a lot of people who use this, and it's actually pretty useful. And it's cool also because, well, it's if you don't have anyone to sail with, at least you can take some NPCs with you. Of course, they are not cheap, but yeah, there's that. Next, ships. This is very similar to SOP, except that you can't sell here. You only can buy. At a given moment in a particular place, there will be a selection of ships on sale. Okay, but that doesn't mean that there will be every ship in a given port. For instance, La Habana is the capital of Spain and has a lot of ships that doesn't has. For instance, Santísimas, there's none on sale. Victories, there's no on sale. But if you want to check what ships are on sale in a given place, well, you can click on all, and here you will see all the ships which are on sale in this place. You can sort them out by class. 7th rate, 6th rate, 5th rate. Those are all the classes of ships in the game, and these are the ones that are available on this port. When you hover your mouse over the different ships, you can see their details. So the class, the number of decks, and very important, the number of permanent and upgrade slots. For instance, this Surprise has one permanent slot and one upgrade slot. Of course, this is just a basic Surprise. There can be better quality Surprises in other ports, which have more permanent or upgrade slots available. Also, pay attention to the built-in upgrades. Okay? For instance, built-in upgrades on this is Fear Wood and Speed, which will mean that this Renomy is slightly faster than a Renomy with no speed upgrades. This Surprise has stiffness, so it won't tilt so much when wind is coming from the side. This frigate has stiffness but of less quality. As you can see, this stiffness is green, this stiffness is gray. Gray is basic, green is fine, I think. Okay, so you can check on each ship when each build comes with a given upgrade. Okay, sometimes it's random, sometimes you choose it. We will see that in crafting in a second. But not all ships on sale are the same. Okay, and there are times that you will actually see several different ships on sale. For instance, here we have a trader links and another trader links. This one, for instance, this one has speed and crew space. This one has stiffness. Okay, so obviously you will want the trader links that is better. There's another one here. These are, by the way, sold by players. As you can see, this is by Tonuco Fourth. This is Armando Bronca. This is Frunilda. These guys put these ships on sale. And this one is because the port is selling it by default. Okay, and also, of course, you can buy it. Each ship has its price. The basic ship has zero cost, so you can always buy the basic ship by free. Put up or view ships on sale. Here you can see the ships you have and you can choose to put them on sale, but I can't because this one only has one durability and this one is a premium, it's a redeemable ship, so yeah, I can't sell that one. Next in line is crafting. Now crafting is quite complicated. I'm going to try to make this very easy to understand. Okay, let's start with the fact that there are blueprints to build the stuff. And you start with a set of blueprints, not all of them, for instance. I don't have any blueprints for cannons, and I guess new players won't either. I'm not sure how new blueprints happen and how do you get new ones, but in the mean, at some time you will get some blueprints. So yeah, let's take a look. For instance, what do you build? Do you want to build blocks? Well, blocks requires one lignum vitae log and produces 50 blocks. Takes 1 labor hour. If I want to take 16 lignum vital ore logs, well, I will produce this and will take this amount of labor hours. Each time you produce something, you get some crafting XP. And of course, take some labor hours available, which I think replenishes each day. So you can spend some time crafting and getting some crafting XP to increase your craft level, which is important for building more advanced stuff that you can only craft when you reach that level. So, well, there are different categories: woodworking, casting, weaving, manufacturing, and cannons, which I don't have any right now to see what they require, and then shipbuilding. Now, shipbuilding is pretty curious because um, you start being able to build only the links and the traders links. You can see crafting level 0, which is what you begin with. Better ships require better crafting level, and better quality requires also bigger craft level. The higher quality you get, the higher craft level you get. The higher quality, the more upgrade slots your ship will have. I think it's a little bit random. So at top quality you can get something between 2 and 3 permanent upgrades and something between 4 and 3 general upgrade slots. Requires again depends on your crafting level. You can choose what wood type you want to use. Depends on what you have available, and the resulting ship will have either live oak, teak, oak, or fir. I think they are ordered in by price and by toughness. So fir is less tough than oak, but it's cheaper. Oak is less tough than teak, but it's cheaper. Teak is less tough than live oak, but it's cheaper. So you choose whatever material you want to use, you choose your quality, you choose the trim. Again, remember before we were looking at the upgrades, inbuilt upgrades of the ships when we were in the ship tab, checking ships. Some of them have stiffness, some of them have speed, some of them have whatever. Well, you can choose between several of these here, or you can go random. Why would you want to go random? Well, because then you can get some which is not here. For instance, I think the speed one you can choose here right now, but with random you might get it. Who knows? Or you can get something that you don't want at all. And that's the thing. You never know when you start building a ship. So you choose the wood type, you choose your trim, you choose your quality, depending on your crafting level, and then you join all these things, the rigging, fittings, hull, and general, and you hit craft, and voila, you will have a links, which you can then sell or use or do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, so let's do an instance of something we are going to build. Let's check. What rudder parts needs oak logs and iron ingots, magnetic frame parts, thick log, well, whatever. Yeah, yes. Let's do live oak frame part, for instance. Require live oak log. So we go to the shop. We check on resources. Do we have live? Yeah. There's some on this place. So I purchase 3 of them because I know I've seen the recipe. I know I need 3 of them. So I purchase that. I go to crafting, live oak frame parts. There you go. I have enough for 1 run, which will give me 5 live oak frame parts and will cost me 3 labor hours crafting. As you can see, I increased my crafting XP. I was at 6, now it's at 7, and now I have 5 live oak frame parts, which I can sell or whatever, or I can store until I need them for something I'm producing. So yeah, that's crafting. Actually, very simple to understand, very complicated because shipbuilding requires a lot of stuff, and each stuff requires more stuff. So yeah, it's I guess a lot of people will enjoy this. I personally not very interested in crafting because I'm not interested in building stuff. I'm interested in destroying the stuff other people build. But to its own, this can be very, very, very fun and involving, and you can actually make a lot of money by doing this. I remember an old game called Pirates of the Burning Sea, and building ships was super profitable over there, and I guess will be also here. So yeah, well, that's it for crafting, and let's move on to conquest, which I'm not going to touch with a 5-yard pole right now. I'm not going to say anything about this because it's a little bit complicated to explain all the mechanics involved. I don't fully understand them, by the way. I have a general idea on how conquest works, but especially because if we are beginning and we don't even know how the UI works, we are not going to get into very complicated nation versus nation combat or nothing like that. So yeah, this, if anything, in a future video I will cover. Right now, yeah, there's a conquest tab. It's very cool to watch. You can get information on stuff. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I'm not buying this by the way. Yeah, that's the UI on this port and every port you visit. Those are the home, equipment, mission, shop, fleet, ships and crafting, and conquest ignore. And now you know how to, well, get stuff done when you are in port. Also, you know how to trade, you know how to craft, at least the bare bone basics. You know where, at least where to begin with. And well, I really hope this helped you guys. I know I'm going to spend a lot of time in this game, so I'm going to obviously make a lot more tutorial videos and videos explaining you guys how to do well in this great, great, great game. But of course, there are also going to be a lot more videos about me derping around in the open sea, fighting and ranking up and getting bigger ships and having fun because I am having a lot of fun in this game, as I have always had. Again, I hope this helped. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching and see you later.